Good evening, folks. Your town council would like to welcome you to the regular town council meeting of Tuesday, February 4th, 2020. I ask you to rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Reed, would you call the roll, please?
Here.
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 Here, and please let the record reflect that Chair Thornton has an excused absence this evening. To acknowledgements, Council. Ms. Reed.
Ocean Wood has asked me to announce that on April 11th, which is a Saturday, from 10 to 4, the American Red Cross will be at Ocean Park asking for blood donations. I know it's quite a ways, but if you'll put it on your calendar, they need to get telephone calls to reserve places in order for the Red Cross to come. And finally, congratulations to OOB 365 for the well-attended community dinner at the American Legion last week. We also would invite those listening this evening to attend our next community-friendly connection meeting on the third Wednesday of each month. The next one is at 5 o'clock in Town Hall. So Wednesday, February 20th, we'd love to see you and come and enjoy this meeting. That's it.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Reed. There are no further acknowledgements. To good and welfare. Any items under good and welfare for members of the public? Members of council? Having none, to the acceptance of minutes. Acceptance of town council minutes of January 7th, 2020.
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made in second. If there's no further discussion and none opposed, motion will carry 4-0. To referendum question number 1 for a public hearing. Shall the town council be authorized to sell a town-owned 20,000 square foot vacant lot at 32 Juniper Street, tax map lot 40218, as publicly noticed in September 17th, 2019 through a competitive bid process and with the bids opened on October 18th, 2019, or even though a new competitive bid process in the town council's discretion pursuant to section 40915 of the town charter. We'll open the public hearing at 6:32.
Through the chair.
Mr.
If I could just give a little explanation to this.
Please.
So on March 3rd, there will be an election here at the high school, for the presidential primary. There's also a state referendum question, and then there's this local referendum question that we're having a public hearing for tonight. And so what this is all about is that the parcel at 32 Juniper Street was given to the town by the former owner. At the time that it was given to the town, Juniper Street was not likely, it did not appear that it was going to be developed in the future because of the peculiar nature of those lots, if you all remember, in terms of multiple ownership. And it just didn't seem like there was going to be any prospect of those parcels being developed. And so for that reason, the former owners decided that they didn't want to continue paying the property taxes on an annual basis for the property, so they just gifted it to the town as sort of vacant land at the time. But subsequently, that area, a developer did a lot of work and assembled parcels and has now built public streets or streets there. And the parcel that the town was given back in a number of years ago is now a buildable lot and it's served by public water. So the best use of this parcel now is as a single family residence because that's what it's going to be surrounded by. And for that reason, the town offered it for sale through a public advertising process earlier in 2019, at the same time that the town was putting up for sale another 2 or 3 lots. So it was bundled in with those. And at that time the town received several bids for this parcel, and the highest of those was $60,000. However, the town's charter requires that the sale of town property, other than that which the town acquired through tax foreclosure, has to be approved by a vote. And so that is why it is on the ballot in a few weeks, and that's why we're having this public hearing tonight.
Excellent. Thank you for that explanation. Comments from members of the public? Comments from council?
Through the chair. So I see there's a little quote here about possibly new bids. Where do you think that's going to go? Am I reading that correctly?
No, that first sentence that you're talking about?
Or even through a new competitive bid?
Yeah,
process?
that really shouldn't have been there in the first
Okay.
place. That
All right.
was not something that I
Okay.
thought was on there.
Okay.
We've already put it out to bid. It was a competitive
I knew
process.
that, yeah.
We had several offers, and the offer that we got of $60,000 was, I think, a very fair offer.
Okay. Thank you.
There are no further comments or questions? Close the public hearing at 6:36. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, council. Motion has been made and second. There's no further discussion. And none opposed, the motion will carry 4-0. To public hearing, amusement permits and approval. The Royal Anchor, doing business at Water's Edge, 20215, 203 East Green Avenue, live music, hours of entertainment, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. outside. Note, the hours change from noon to 8 p.m.
Time, Sean.
Just tonight.
No, what time you opening the public
Oh,
hearing?
yeah, public hearing will open. Public hearing at 6:37.
Thank you.
Comments from members of the public?
Good evening. I'm just here if you have any questions for me, that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Bureau. No comments from the public? Comments from council?
No.
So moved.
So moved, okay.
Second.
Thank you, council. Motion has been made and second.
Chairman, can I ask a question about something you already did?
Not, right, no, I can't go backwards, unfortunately.
I'm not gonna try to make you change anything.
Yeah. Can I close this agenda item, or is it
Yes,
pertaining?
just close
Yeah, okay.
this.
If there's no further discussion and none opposed, motion will carry 4-0, and we'll close the public hearing at 6:38. Sir?
Just the referendum question says public hearing, and then the wording. And I just noticed you had a vote, but it didn't say in the agenda, with action. So I'm not sure you even needed to have a vote, but if you did, I'm not complaining. If that was supposed to be a vote, you might want to add with action in the agenda.
Understood. Yep, thank you for that. Yep. And that brings us to the town manager's report this evening.
Thank you very much. So, just yesterday, the Maine Department of Transportation conducted a traffic review meeting here at Town Hall in the afternoon, and it was related to a proposal that is for a gas station convenience market at 15 Ocean Park Road. That's located on the south side of Ocean Park Road between Janet Avenue and Melvin Avenue. And in addition to the convenience store, market, and the gas station behind the market, this project would include a self-storage facility. So because this is a state road, Route 5, the project has to be reviewed by Maine DOT, and the scoping meeting is a standard part of their process of review. The intent of the meeting is to look at likely traffic implications stemming from the proposed project. There's a great deal of, there's a good bit of interest in this project because of the congestion that exists during certain times of year on this portion of Route 5. And so a number of people from the neighborhood came to the meeting yesterday as observers. The applicant was represented by a consulting traffic engineer who presented information about the type of traffic and the volume of traffic that they would anticipate from the business. And in addition to that, the town is employing a traffic consultant to do review for our purposes. That individual was present, as well as the state MDOT traffic engineer who was participating, so that there was a discussion taking place among the knowledgeable people about what information was still needed to come forward. Some of the residents who were notified of the meeting by MDOT did express their concerns about adding more traffic. The town and MDOT, as the meeting moved forward, have asked the applicant to provide additional information, which is standard procedure for these types of proposals, including information about potential left turns to and from the entrance of the building, of the business, excuse me. The applicant will be conducting traffic studies to submit to the state in July, so that they're capturing the busy summer traffic period. And the study will include the area from the Temple Ave, Saco Ave intersection down to the Old Orchard Beach Saco town line. As this goes forward, MDOT will hold at least one more traffic scoping meeting to process the results of the new information that comes forward. Ultimately, this project, if it goes forward, will go to the Old Orchard Beach Planning Board for their review, site plan review. I don't have a specific date when that might happen, but when that does happen, there will be public notices issued to the area abutters about that process. So I just want to I know there's a lot of interest, want to make sure people know that this is moving forward. People will be notified as the town becomes involved, and that will be when the planning board actually has it on their agenda. The second thing I wanted to talk about was, as a follow-up to the last council meeting, I mentioned that the state was going to be mailing out to homestead property owners a check in the amount of $104 as a one-time tax refund for homestead property owners. I was told today that most town property owners have now received that check, but there are about 100 or so property owners who did not receive the check and who should. And that's because the software that the state was using for the mailing only accommodated a certain number of characters in the owner line. And so owners who had a long name or multiple names didn't get the mailing. It wasn't processed. But the state's working with our assessing office to identify who those 100 property owners are, and those checks will be forthcoming, hopefully in the near future. So I also want to take this opportunity, since we're talking about homestead exemption, to again remind our homeowners who believe that they're eligible for this benefit that there's an April 1st deadline for being considered for the homestead exemption for this tax year. If you already qualify for it, if you already have been approved as a homestead exemption, you don't need to come back in and apply again. But if you haven't, or I'm not sure if you did, then you should check in with our assessing office or our tax office to make sure that you are or are not listed as a homestead exemption property, and that has to take place before April 1st. And what that means is, if you're eligible, that the valuation on your home would be reduced for this coming tax year by $25,000, which ends up being a savings of a little over $380 for every individual who qualifies. So it's a significant amount, and I would encourage people to check into that if they are not sure. Then the last thing I wanted to just mention again was that the town is going to be holding a job fair on Monday, February 17th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here in council chambers. Now I know that's a legal holiday and town hall will not be open for public business, but we will be open for that specific purpose on Monday, February 17th. We're looking for applicants for full and part-time seasonal positions with the police department, for our lifeguards, for public works, for recreation, for the ballpark, wastewater, and parking enforcement. So there will be immediate interviews if people want to do that with department staff on that day. So we invite people to come in and learn about our job openings. If you want to stick around and get an interview, you can get it that day. So bring your resume if you would like to, or just come to ask questions, and there's more information about that on our website. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you, Mr. Mead. To new business this evening. Item number 7169, discussion with action. To reappoint Warren Todd Bassett as a regular member of the Finance Committee, term to expire 12/31/21.
So moved. Second.
Thank you, council. Motion has been made and seconded. There's no further discussion. And none opposed. Motion carries 4-0. Item number 7170, discussion with action. To approve the purchase of a primary clarifier wear parts from Motion Industries in the amount of $16,865.70 from account number 20161-50330, wastewater equipment replacement account with a balance of $57,728.48.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, council. Motion.
Sean, I think the next three items have been discussed in budget.
Yes, they have.
I just want to
Yeah.
let the public know.
Yeah, very good. Thank you for
That's
that.
why we're not discussing them.
Yep, appreciate that. Mike? With the motion being made and seconded, if there's no further discussion, and none opposed, motion carries 4-0. Item number 7171, discussion with action. To approve the purchase of the Berry Stage blower from Ayers and Corporation in the amount of $9,763.74 from account number 20161-50330, wastewater equipment replacement with a balance of $57,728.48.
So moved. Second.
Thank you, council. Motion has been made in second. If there's no further discussion, and none opposed, motion carries 4-0. Item number 7172, discussion with action. To approve the purchase of a wastewater department of bulk hypochlorite storage tank from Wynwood Compliance Corporation in the amount of $9,244 from account number 53002-50846, wastewater treatment facility CIP equipment expense, with a balance of $42,897.40.
So moved. Second.
Thank you, council. Motion has been made in second. If there's no further discussion, and none opposed, motion carries 4-0. Item number 7173, discussion with action. To approve the liquor license renewals for the Royal Anchor doing business as Water's Edge, 20215-203 East Grand Avenue, hotel, food optional, Class 1A, and Rafi Jacoby doing business as Golan Inc., doing business as Coastal Convenience, as well as Bella Pizza, 206-264 A and C, 34 Saco Avenue, Alma V, in a restaurant.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, council. Motion has been made in second. If there's no further discussion, and none opposed, motion carried 4-0. And lastly, this evening, item number 7174, discussion with action. To accept the bid from and authorize the town manager to enter into a contract with Great Falls Construction Company in the amount of $1,184,059.40 for the construction of the administration building for the wastewater treatment facility, subject to bond financing to be issued April 2020, as approved by referendum at the November 6, 2018 election, and $184,059.40 to be funded through the Sewer Reserve Fund, account number 30181-50959, wastewater treatment facility construction expense, with a balance of $830,182.44.
So moved.
All second.
Second.
Thank you, council. Motion has been made in second. If there's no further discussion, none opposed, motion carries 4-0.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made in second. If there's no further discussion, and none opposed, that motion will carry 4-0 as well. Thank you, council. Thank you, folks. Have a good evening.